the New York Times. The New York Times decided to run their mouth a little bit this week, Mr. Black, and write an article that is as coded in what the fuck as I could come up with, where the New York Times were like, hey, the children, Mr. Black, the kids, the youths, they're spending too much time playing the Vidya Games in 2020 and 2021. Just too much time. We need to bring them back from the brink before it's too late. Now, this article fails to take into consideration a very important key factor of the year 2020 and into 2021. And the key factor there is fucking COVID-19. So it's not like these kids are able to just go outside or go to like Chuck E. Cheese's and do like all the stuff that's not video game related particularly easily. They don't just get to run out there and do this regular ass shit. It's not really possible. And so what they do to keep any semblance of social activity is they play video games online with their friends. But for the New York Times, that's a big problem. They don't actually, like in true boomer like article fashion, they don't actually offer solutions. They just point out a problem. Just like, they can't be doing that. And they don't actually like list anything that's fucking useful. They're just like, that's a problem. It's always video games. It's not, oh, they're watching too much Finding Nemo. Or, oh, they're on Netflix too much or something. It's always, oh, the Vidya Games. Spending too much time. Stop having fun and socializing with your friends.
Yeah. Fuck those guys, man. Straight up. Listen. I think a lot of us, myself included, have indulged more than what we would like in 2020 and likely 2021, whether that is video games, Netflix, food, you name it. It's been a rough year. My son has watched way more Paw Patrol than what I would have ever visualized myself allowing my son to watch. But also, we are in a pandemic, which means, yes, we should still inherently watch how much our children are playing video games or watching TV or how much cheese I'm eating before I go to bed. But the reality is, we're in a pandemic. And, you know, we're coping the best we can. It's just really that simple. The last thing I need in my life right now is somebody smacking the chip bag out of my hand when I'm snacking and watching Netflix at the end of a long day before I go to bed. The last thing I need to do right now is snatch the controller away from my son and say, no, go outside and get fresh air with your friends you can't be near. So pretend.
That's basically where they're at.
I mean, yes, I get it. Yeah, great. Yeah, we're probably all indulging and doing things a little bit excessively over the last year, more than what we would normally do in certain aspects. But at the same time, it's what we're doing to cope. And, you know, if they got a problem with that, then write your little shitty articles. And these are the same motherfuckers that have their kids playing video games and watching TV, and they can't get off their fucking cell phone. They can't eat dinner without being on their cell phone and ignoring their significant other or the family at the dinner table. And yet they're talking all this high praise or talking down on people spending too much time doing this. Go fuck yourself, you hypocritical cunts. Seriously.
Imagine with like the short list of social activities that people can get away with right now safely.
Yeah.
And then looking at that list and going, you know what? Even though this is a short list, we've got to still complain about some of the things on this list. It's just too much. It's excessive.
Yikes.
We all need to be like doing like other things, like, I don't know, listening to Gwyneth Paltrow talk about her fucking bullshit for the 50th time, or
you know, not everybody is going to take this time to like learn another language and really get fit and learn to take up meditation and read lots of books and go for nice walks in the park and enjoy local nature instead of traveling out of state or province. Some people are doing those things, and good on them. But like the vast majority of the world right now, we're trying to survive. And we're trying to escape something that we can't escape. Literally.
Yeah.
You're reminded of this the moment you step foot outside. Everybody's wearing a mask. Everybody. There's lineups everywhere. Everybody's spaced apart. My son can't have, my wife can't have her girlfriend's children come over and have play dates because they go to daycare. So what else do you do? I mean, holy fuck. There's only so much you can do. So yeah, there might be an extra couple hours of television or a couple hours of video games in a run of a day. Some days it might be an extra 5 hours. I listen, we're coping the best we can.
I feel like sometimes they look at this situation and they're like, it's like how people first saw the pandemic and like the lockdown originally. It was like, okay, this is like a mini vacation. We're at home. We don't have to go anywhere. We just do whatever whatever. Okay, let's take this time, like you were saying, like making a joke of, but it's like serious. A lot of people were like, I'm going to learn another language. I'm going to, read more books. I'm going to learn how to cook. I'm going to, use this time efficiently and effectively, and better myself in the process. If there are some people that can get away with that shit. That takes an enormous degree of mental toughness in the middle of one of these fucking, like a pandemic or some shit, because eventually you get worn down. You're hearing about it all the time. There's always a low level of anxiety in the background of having it yourself or passing it to somebody else. Or if it's somebody in your family that gets it. Or like what's going to happen if that happens and how are we going to handle that shit, et cetera, et cetera. This is low level anxiety constantly in the background, and that just wears you the fuck out over time. People are like, man, why am I napping more? Why am I so tired all the time? I haven't actually done it. What is going on? And the answer is you're mentally exhausted. You might not be like upfront readily recognizing that you're stressing or being anxious about this whole situation because you've learned to like fucking push that shit to the back of your mind while you're functionally doing what you need to, like functionally working. But we're basically all functional alcoholics, except we replace the alcoholism with crippling anxiety, and that's what you're getting right now. You got a bunch of people that are doing their job, whether it's at home or in the office, or they're taking care of their kids, or they're doing both of those things, and they're still like running the ship at home, and they still have to go for groceries and whatnot, which takes 1,000 times longer than it used to because, like you were saying, there's lineups, there's fucking like everything else, there's just restrictions everywhere, and just so like there's no part of everyday life that's normal or not restricted or lengthened. And then somebody's like, yeah, fuck it, let's like improve ourselves. And that's a great mindset, but you're also like already dead. Like you're a year deep into this shit. Everyone's already toasted as fuck. You hear a lot less about people like, I'm going to learn a new language. I'm going to, read more books.
I'm going to lose a bunch of weight. I'm going to listen. If you can do those things, fuck yeah, man. Go and do them. Like, good on you. Shit.
A short list of people that I know that have gotten away with that.
The reality is, man, if people weren't doing these good things before a pandemic, it's harder to want to get those good things. Now, there are some people that like need to hit rock bottom and like really fucking go and be absolutely fed up with their situation before they say, all right, you know what? A light switch turns on and they change their life. Hey, fucking kudos to you. But man, writing an article about something like this, people playing too many video games, it just comes off like another pandering. Video games are bad. Video games are the problem for everything. And you know what? Fuck these guys, man. Seriously. I like they've been singing this tune for years and years and years. And while we're all out here getting rich off video games, these motherfuckers are trying to get rich from clickbaits and all this other stuff, trying to hammer down on video games. If anything, in my opinion, my biased opinion, video games have done magnitudes more good than bad over the last, decade. Just in terms of opportunity, giving people an outlet to socialize, and yeah, it can become like anything. If you spend too much time in the world of Warcraft, or you spend too much time in Fortnite, yeah, it can fuck your life up pretty bad. If you, like any other addiction, you spend too much time at the strip club, you're gonna be fucked. You spend too much time, smoking weed all the time, that shit's gonna fuck you up. But if you're smoking weed and it's just something you enjoy, it calms you down or makes you feel better or whatever, weed does more good than it does bad. It's the same thing with video games. It's all about, you got some uneducated asshole that is grabbing a topic and shining a light on the negative side of it, but not shining any light on the positive side of it. And that's what we're getting here. And we're getting it in the middle of a pandemic, where you literally, when you're locked up in your house, that's what you do. You entertain yourself. You play video games. You watch TV. Is anybody complaining about like Netflix's numbers? Is anybody like, what's next? Oh, people are spending way too much time on Amazon, buying things on Amazon, and they're not going out and shopping anymore. You know what I mean? Like, what else do you want people to do in a pandemic? Seriously.
People are spending too much time reading books as a form of escapism.
Yeah. Okay.